Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
You want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead.
If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into the...
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
This may or may not be the third time we've done this introduction.
Yeah. I swear
may
I know,
or may
I know
not.
microphones. I understand microphones. I get it.
We're professionals. We know how things work. We don't let cats sit in our lap the whole time we're recording so that you can hear them purring into the microphone. We don't do anything like that.
We don't
we're
accidentally
fucking professionals.
have our headphone hangy dangly mic bit be set to the default thing in our recording program.
No, we don't do that. What we do, we make sure before we start that we are ready to go, and we only need to. They call us the one take Amy's because we don't have to keep doing this over and over again.
Knock us down.
Something like that.
Why is my computer on California time right now too? I'm like, I don't even know.
The world is upside down. Nothing makes sense.
I am in the upside down.
We already discussed that this might be a shorter episode than usual because we're just neither one of us is feeling it. We're tired and like it's just,
I have good news though.
Life. Yes. Please tell us.
I quit my second job this week.
Yay.
I work from, 8:30 to 5:30. And then I had another shift that started at 8 p.m. until midnight.
Ugh. Yeah, that's not good.
I was thinking about it and I was talking about it with Gentleman Caller. I was like, this, and with you, I talked with you about it too. I'm like, this is probably really bad for my mental health.
Yeah, that's not good for your physical health either.
Money?
Money's good.
Okay, but my new job, my daytime job, my big girl career job is in my career field, which we don't talk about, but it's in my career field. It's actually really complicated and challenging and stressful. So all day from 8:30 to 5:30, I'm in my field. And then I would be doing nonsense customer service stuff until midnight and then have to get up and be back at work in like less than 8 hours. I can't. I can't.
Yeah. And topless housekeeping is a tough career to be in.
I have trained for years for this field, Amy. So I would really appreciate it if you didn't diminish my
make
work
a mockery
and make a mockery of my life, life skills.
There's nothing wrong with being a topless house cleaner. That's not. I'm not making a judgment call. I'm saying it's hard work.
What is the C word you're saying at the end? I'm not familiar with that phrase.
Nothing. Okay. So it is episode. What episode are we? We don't even
47?
fucking know what we're doing. 40. No, I think it's 48.
Wow.
I think we did 47 last week. I don't know.
We did, but did we? I don't know. Yeah, because we did 46 with no illusions or something.
Yeah, but then we did 47 was voting. Vote, motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, that was with
remember?
That was actually better because it had no men in it.
Right. There were no men and everything was great. So now we're on 48 post-voting motherfuckers. And we assume all of the motherfuckers listening to this voted because if they didn't, I will find them. And I have a particular set of skills that I like to use to bully people into voting. So
topless vacuuming, apparently. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. It really gets the job done, when you need a job done.
If the job is vacuuming.
Topless, yeah.
And washing shirts.
Exactly.
Because you're not using them.
Oh my God, I'm so tired. And I'm cold because it's cold here now. And now I get to continue bitching about the cold.
49 here.
Oh, whatever.
Do you even understand what cold is? 49, I had to pull out a sweater that was slightly thicker than my cardigans. And I wore a dress and boots. I had to wear boots with socks.
It sounds terrible. I mean...
Yeah, I know. No.
We should start some sort of a charity or a support group, maybe, just for people who have to wear slightly thicker sweaters.
Okay, so I have some good news. This is like a good news moment I'm taking it as. I'm like assuming. Yes. So I got a car in my own name this week.
You are like full on big girl this week.
I am big girl. I started
like
a big
with
girl
the job, the car.
And I got a car in my own name. No man touched a pen.
You don't need no man
near it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I did that. And then today I was driving home and I was talking to my boyfriend. I was like, I miss my steering wheel warmer. And he was like, you're so spoiled. I'm like, what? I've grown accustomed to my steering wheel warming my fingers as I drive.
You've grown accustomed to a certain lifestyle. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know?
You know, apparently the car that I could afford in my own name doesn't have seat warmers or
I really miss my seat warmers. This is my first year without seat warmers.
Mine too, apparently.
I had to buy the cheapest car I could find, and it doesn't have seat warmers, and I'm so cold. My butt is so cold.
And my fingers, my poor fingers, and then I don't have any gloves right now, so I need to get gloves.
Oh, man.
And
it's just, do they even sell gloves in Texas? Or?
Zulily. I mean, I just get everything from Zulily.
Yeah.
So this is an ad for Zulily. They should give me money and free credits.
They should. I'm sure they'll get on that.
Basically, my entire wardrobe, not what I'm wearing today, but most of my wardrobe is from Zulily. The boots I wore today are from Zulily.
My entire wardrobe is from a consignment shop downtown that I just love. I actually went there this week just looking for long sweaters because my standard winter uniform is leggings, long sweater, boot socks, and boots. That's just what I wear all winter. So I need to have several variations on that theme. So yeah, I went there specifically looking for long sweaters and I found 3 that I really liked. And it's a consignment shop, so I bring my old shit there and they sell it. And I had made a whole $12 on whatever I brought them. So I got to use that as credit. It worked out great. So yeah, consignment shops, use them. Anyway. None of this has to do with voting. We were going to talk about post-election.
Well, I feel like I have one more thing to say. Okay. So because I have a grown-up job now, and I have
is it about boots
professionally?
Or sweaters?
Okay. It's close. It's about a dress.
Okay. Good.
So because I have a big girl job now, I have to dress professionally, and I wear dresses a lot, just like flowy dresses, and then because I'm female, this is one of our privileges is that we can just throw a sweater over it and a necklace and earrings and we look professional. Mm-hmm. Even if it's like spaghetti strap dresses, we just put a tank top underneath so it looks like a shade shirt and we're good to go. Like we're good. So I've just been wearing, my dresses all week. I found a dress in like the bottom of some basket in like my closet a couple of weeks ago and I was like, oh, I forgot about this dress. And I tried it on once because I bought it in I was doing like a bulk order from like Old Navy or no, not Old Navy, Lane Bryant. I was buying bras and this was in clearance for like $5. So I just threw it in and it was tight on me. I remember it was tight on me and I put it on. It was too tight. And so I was like, I just threw it in this basket in the closet and I was like, this makes me feel fat, whatever. Yeah. So I just shoved it in the bottom of the thing. Today I put it on. I was like, oh yeah, because I'd washed it when I found it. And I was like, oh, I forgot about this dress. So I pulled it out this morning and it didn't need to be steamed or ironed or anything. So I put it on and it's so loose that I have to keep pulling the shoulders up because it keeps showing my bra strap. So guess what I wore today was the dress that used to be so tight on me that I didn't even wear it around the house. So boom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the added benefit that it falls down and shows your bra straps. So you get to be kind of sexy at work.
Well, no, I just adjusted it in a way where it didn't.
All right.
But it's like loose on me. And I remember putting this on that it was like tight.
Yeah.
Because
I am having the opposite issue. So maybe I'm getting your lost weight.
Well,
because my clothes are tight now. I can't. Well, I've been rapidly gaining weight.
I haven't said anything on here, but since my divorce process began, I've lost 55 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And all I do is just not
Is that amazing?
I don't eat or sleep. Mm-hmm. And
that's a good diet plan, though. It works.
I drink more than I should. And,
you know what else I heard really works well? Meth.
What?
Meth. If you do a lot of meth, that's perfect weight loss plan. Because it keeps you awake so you get a lot done, but then you also just don't want to eat. So,
you know what else keeps you awake? I was talking about this before the show, before we hit record. We've been watching The Haunting of Hill House. Mm-hmm. That will keep you awake, just with theories.
Yeah,
and I can't. Suppositions. It's okay. I don't like scary shows. I watch scary movies that are satirical, like Cabin in the Woods or Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I don't watch gore. I don't watch Saw. I can't do that. I don't like the Mist or Paranormal Activity. I don't like any of those shows because I don't like the feeling it gives me. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
But I read enough about this and I had enough friends suggest it that I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it's real creepy. I'm not going to lie to you. It is super, super creepy. And there are some jump scares, but there's no tropes. Like they avoided all of the horror movie tropes. So when it's a jump scare, you're legitimately like, I scream out loud.
Oh my God.
But it's not something that sticks with you. Like, zombie movies or ghost movies. You can't sleep because it's like, you're scared.
And you have nightmares.
Yeah, I've never had anything like that. It's the reason we're not sleeping is because we're talking about what the hell is going on. Like it's really, it's like a mind trip.
I just finished watching season 3 of Man in the High Castle.
I can't get through season 2. I'm trying so hard.
It's not the most exciting show.
I wanted it to be so good because the concept is amazing, but I just can't.
It's a great concept. Get into it. I will say season 3 is better than season 2, I think.
Okay, good.
Because in season 3, like, they start making sense of some shit. Like, you actually start getting some answers to things that made no sense before. And, like, it was better. I liked it. It's not the greatest thing ever, but yeah.
I haven't been able to watch much
voting.
Because I've been working. Oh, I watched all of My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, though. That was fantastic.
I couldn't finish that one. I got about halfway through season 1.
This is our last
think
episode
it would be
now.
Right up my alley.
We're ending this show now because it's a conflict of
paper,
interest.
It makes perfect sense that I would love it. Like it's got the musical numbers.
Irreparable differences or what
irreconcilable
is it? Irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy doesn't like that show, so we can't.
It's not that I don't like it. I just couldn't. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, oh, I need something to watch. Oh, I'll go seek that out. No, it was just kind of like, nah. I got halfway through season 1 and went, it's fine. But it's just not that exciting. I don't know.
Show. It's just so because it's kind of like it's snack food for your brain. I love it.
Yeah,
because she's very smart and witty and fun, and I like the songs.
I like her and I like the songs, and you know what it is? Yeah. It's that I'm a really smart person, and so I need lots of intelligent viewing to really feed my brain because
I watch crap. Because so I do this on purpose actually, and especially when I'm like in the middle of a semester, I will read, like I've read the entire Shopaholic series. Like I read crap and I watch crap because my field that I'm in is very intensive and it uses my brain. Not so much recently. I mean, less so, but now it is again. But it's like intense all the time. So when I'm home and when I'm watching things, I want to watch something that's just silly or, like Jersey Shore-y, for example. Or like I read the Shopaholic series and things like that. Like I read things like that and I watch things like that. Or I also watch documentaries and murder mysteries and I read murder mysteries. But, I like things that are more like snacky.
Yeah, when I want to like just zone out on something, like when I just don't want my brain on, I'll watch like the same bad History Channel documentary I've watched 100 times because I don't really have to think about it. But I like stories about history. I don't know what my problem is. I used to love comedy a lot more than I do now. I like Terrible People. Wait, what's that? Maybe that's not what that's called. What's that show on Hulu?
Always
Difficult
Sunny?
People.
Difficult People's good.
I like Difficult People.
I like Always Sunny. I really like I'm Sorry. Did you see I'm Sorry?
I haven't, but I've seen
I saw the first couple
episodes
and it was really funny. I need to go back to it. And then I always like Impractical Jokers. That's one that I can watch like anytime. I can just pick one up. I've never watched it straight through. I've never watched it's not something I watch all the time, but if I'm in the room, we're like, hey, what are we going to watch? What do you want to watch? It's something you can turn on and it's just super enjoyable. The kids can come in and out of the room. It's not inappropriate.
My 8-year-old has become obsessed with The Amazing Race. That's all he wants to watch anymore is The Amazing Race because my mother got him hooked on it. And I'm kind of angry about that.
That show, I watched the first season.
He's 8 years old. He shouldn't be watching The Amazing Race like he's a 90-year-old on CBS. The election.
Ted Cruz won Texas.
I heard that. That's pretty exciting. But new senator.
I was really excited. It got really close. I was really scared for a minute that he was going to lose it. Let me go read the numbers. Well, you gather your thought. I'm assuming it'll take a long time because I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell long-winded stories. I went to the Joe Radinovich victory party. Night. Went really great. He lost, so turned into a giant bummer. Every local candidate that I was working for lost. All of the local candidates, the Democrats lost by like a 70-30 margin. So that was awesome. And then
ours were real close. It was like 50s and 40s. Like, okay, for Senate, the Senate race, Beto O'Rourke went up against Ted Cruz, who is, the Zodiac killer.
Who is this Ted Cruz that you speak of?
So he's the super hot guy who happened to have been the Zodiac killer.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I like him already. That sounds awesome.
He's really hot. He also looks like Grandpa Munster. Like, he's real hot.
Cool.
Okay, so Ted Cruz won, which everybody's really happy about. His percentage was 52.66%. Beto O'Rourke came in at 46.52%. That is really close.
For Texas, especially.
In Texas. And then I was telling you this before we started recording, the straight ticket voters, which I did vote straight ticket in this race because there are so many places that only Republicans are running, and I'm just not even going to bother with that nonsense. Yeah. So Republican straight ticket voters, 58.2%. Democratic straight ticket voters, 41.29%. I mean,
in Texas, not bad.
In Texas, actually, this is in my county specifically.
Oh, wow.
This is in my county specifically.
Kind of a redder area of a red state.
But of course, the U.S. Senate is the entire, all of that.
Yeah.
But this is in my county.
Yeah, that's how Minnesota was. Everybody was so excited because Minnesota's so blue. Well, we handily won both of our Senate seats, but that's because that's the whole state. So you have the Twin Cities area voting on that. Right.
Well, so those only state 61% of our voters in the county showed up to vote. Which still, that's a really high percentage.
That's a lot. We had less than 50, if I recall correctly.
But come on, people.
Yeah, we had, so Joe, the really sexy beast that was running that I am in love with, I thought he really had a chance because the seat he was running for has been held by a Democrat, although on a razor-thin margin for quite some time. But, of course, we had a fucking third party in this race.
That takes like 5%, 2% of the vote, probably, not 5%.
I can't remember what the percentage was, but it was something like, so in our congressional district, the third party candidate got something like 12 or 13,000 votes. And if you had added those to Joe's total, he still wouldn't have won, but he would have come within 1,000 votes of the other guy. Like, it would have been so close. And the reason that there's this third party, Green Party candidate was they didn't, Joe had excellent opinions on everything. He wasn't taking any corporate money. He wanted to get money out of politics. He was for single payer health care. Like, well, I want corporate money too, but I'm not a politician. So he was everything that progressive liberals want, he was standing for. The one issue that they didn't like was that he doesn't want to come out and say we should shut down all of the copper and iron and nickel mines. Like, his platform was kind of, we need to make them follow the environmental regulations. We need to not let them get by without following the regulations, but they should still be able to exist and provide jobs as long as we are making sure that they're not harming the environment. Like, he took this really, because the district we're in has a lot of mining jobs. So, of course, he was doing this kind of middle of the road thing. And so, of course, the third party voters were like, well, fuck him because he's not hard on the mines. Well, great. Now you got the Republican in office. What do you think he's going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. That guy is going to fuck the environment 10 times over. But because you didn't like a little bit of what this one guy said, you voted for somebody that you goddamn knew wouldn't win. And you shuffled all those resources and those votes to that other person. And don't get me wrong, I am angriest at non-voters. That's where I reserve most of my ire, is for the non-voters. Like, I get that the third party voters, most of the time, even if you took those votes, the person wouldn't have won. Okay, fine. And even in this specific case, he still wouldn't have won had he gotten all of those votes.
Right.
But all I can think about is the time and resources and the number of people who went, well, he must not be different from the Republicans, so I'm just not going to bother voting. Like it just infuriates me because this was such a good guy who I shouldn't say was. He's still got a career in politics. He's still going to be doing things. He's not going away, but I got to watch him cry. That was very sad. Not a concession speech because his race went well into the next morning because it was. And so this was really, the one that.
Then you worked on his campaign?
Somewhat. I mean, I volunteered.
Well, I know you talked about it.
He's the one that I've known him for well over a decade, like since he was a volunteer at the local DFL office. So he's the one that's really foxy that I was talking about on the Embrace the Void podcast.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
But yeah, so it was him. So he'll be back, but he was giving a speech where he was saying, you know, I'm not ready to concede yet, but we can tell right now it's going to be an uphill battle. And so it was kind of a concession speech, but not really. But
well, yeah,
he got choked up through it. It was just like my icy cold heart. I got as close to crying as I've gotten in years. I didn't cry because I don't cry, but I got really close to crying. Like I had the ball in my throat, you know, the just like, oh, it was so sad because I wanted him to win so much. But no, my friend that was running for the state House of Representatives, he also lost by a 70-30 margin. Yeah, and that one didn't surprise me. We all kind of assumed he was going to lose just because this is a really red area. And no matter what candidate would have run, especially running the first time, would have lost. But it still fucking sucked because he had to call his opponent and concede. And, it was just
Republicans that lost. We didn't unseat anybody. But the frustrating thing is everybody's pissed, right?
Yep.
Like everybody's so mad, but they're not voting. So that's what's infuriating. Like I was sitting at work and this lady came over and she said something about if something happened, and she was like, if that happened, I'd alert the news, I'd alert I'd alert, all these people. And she was like, and I'd send a letter to the president. And then she turned to me and she was like, Obama, the last president I recognize. I'm like, hey, I hear you. Me too. Yeah. And then she kind of looked at me in solidarity because I think she was saying it to be like, make a wave because I'm white.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I agree. Also, I'm like solidarity. And she was like, oh, okay, good. And she was like, because Trump is a nightmare. I'm like, yeah, because Trump is a nightmare. And I was like, I've done everything I can. I'm like, I'm doing what I can. Yeah. And then someone else was talking about something like the climate, the political climate, like two seats down from me. Someone was talking about the political climate. And she said something along the lines of how scary it is that some people are excited, but it's actually a terrifying situation. And I was like, did you vote? In my head, I was like, did you vote? Did all of you vote? Did everybody in this room that I'm in training right now? Did everybody vote? Did you vote?
I think our voter turnout was hovering around 50%, which is like really fucking good for midterms. But it's sad to me that that's really good. That
me too.
Half the people showing up.
I don't want to make it mandatory because that's shitty.
Yeah.
But come on.
But what the fuck? The bare fucking minimum, literally the bare minimum you can do is show up and vote. Like, especially when you're white and you don't have the same kind of barriers that other people have. Like, so just fucking show up.
A high percentage of people in my class are not white. There's my field is heavily populated with minorities. It just is. It always has been. Oh, okay.
Again, topless housekeeping, right?
Right. Okay. So voter turnout in Texas is 52.7%. An unofficial count from 2 days ago. Okay, I just Googled that. All right, so the lady two seats down from me in training was like, I was like, I'm scared. She was like, she turned to me and she's black and she was like, imagine how I feel. I was like, I can't even imagine. I was like, I literally can't even imagine. And I said, all I can do is vote against people that want to harm you. And teach my children better. And that's all I can do. And she was like, I appreciate that. I'm like, I literally can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And I said, it's infuriating to me when people are rejoicing at results and the Republicans are trying to erase entire groups of people.
Yeah. And people are so excited by that. I can't.
Yeah, she just looked over at me and she was like, exactly. I'm like, okay. Like, at least I know she's on the same page there. Mm-hmm. She did ask to listen to my podcast. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure about
strange.
It's, because of the atheism thing. I never know because you never know. Because people can be on board with me politically, and then I'm an atheist, so clearly I worship Satan, which, why wouldn't you? He's the best.
Yeah.
So,
everybody loves Satan. Come on.
Exactly.
We're very pro-Satan here at Secular Soup. If you've learned one thing about us, we love Satan. Oh my God. I didn't tell you.
He's also the Zodiac Killer.
Satan is super hot. Yeah. Cruz is... I'm just so glad we get to hear from Ted Cruz.
I've never met him in
years,
person, but when I do, I can't wait to see him walking away so I can check him out.
You need to remedy that because he's
really how you judge a person is.
It's true.
Watching him walk away.
So I did have one election day victory that really made my night.
Good, because I have zero.
I have just one smallest shred to hang on to. So let me tell our listeners a little story, because there is a backstory to go with this. So a couple of years ago, I've probably brought this up before, our county commission passed a thing saying that the public health department cannot hand out condoms to anybody, ever. Any people, anyone. No, we're not just talking teenagers. The public health department in my county is not allowed to distribute condoms to anybody. Yeah. And this decision was made by our county administrator, who's a piece of shit.
That's not surprising.
Basically, what happened was the county administrator didn't know that the public health department was distributing condoms to new mothers. They apparently didn't know the public health nurses were doing this, and the public health nurses weren't being vocal about it because they knew that the county administrator is a piece of shit and he'd put an end to it, right? So it somehow comes out in the newspaper that the public health department has been distributing a very small number of condoms to new mothers when they do postpartum visits. Mm-hmm. And so the county administrator is like, oh, fuck that, and puts a stop to it. Immediately tells the department they're not allowed to hand out condoms anymore. Enter me. I show up at the next county commission meeting with a bunch of my friends and get up and I'm like, this is some bullshit that you're not letting the public health department hand out condoms. What kind of asinine decision is this? Why would you do this? You know it's bullshit not to hand out condoms. You know condoms are a great way to prevent pregnancy, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So I'm then in the newspaper as the condom lady because I'm out talking about condoms, and then it gets put on the actual county commission agenda. Everybody in town shows up for this county commission thing about condoms and whether we should hand out condoms or not. And our side lost. 3 county commissioners voted to prohibit public health from handing out condoms ever. Jeez. And the worst county commissioner, the guy who's been there forever, who's just a waste of human space. He's a big-time evangelical Christian. Every decision he makes is based on his religion, and he is not shy about talking about it.
How is that okay? It's
because it's a small town and nobody calls them on it and nobody pays attention. So this motherfucker has been there forever. I think he used to be a state representative years and years ago, but now he's on the county commission. Anyway, so he, in fact, during the hearing where they were talking about the condom issue, he said that if people were so worried about postpartum depression, then what should happen is men should take their wives out for a nice steak dinner after they have a baby. Because, it's stressful being a mom.
That's okay.
Yeah, this guy is a piece of shit, but he's been running unopposed for years because it's the county commission and nobody pays attention. So fast forward to this year, we finally get someone to run against him. That motherfucker lost by 85 votes.
Good.
85 votes. He fucking lost his seat. And it was one of those things where I was watching the returns come in from the Secretary of State website, because you could look at every single race in the state. So I was watching this race and it would go like up by 20 points and down by 20 points and then up by 100 and then he'd be under by 100. Like it just kept moving back and forth all night. So it was like, oh God, is he going to lose? Is he not going to lose? And finally, I was up till midnight. I can't even believe I was up that late, but I'm at this election night party at midnight, and finally all of the tallies had come in, and fucking 85 votes. It made my whole night. That motherfucker is gone. He is off the commission, and that is the issue that kicked him off, because the guy that ran against him only decided to run when that became an issue, and he realized how much people hated that fucking guy. And
Good.
So one teeny tiny little ray of sunshine. And yes, I know there are a lot of bigger rays of sunshine around the country. There were a lot of good things that happened. And
there were.
In Minnesota, we got a new Democratic governor.
We did not.
Senators,
we are stuck with Greg Abbott.
Yeah, I heard. But you got Ted Cruz.
Yeah, we have Ted Cruz.
Yeah, we did have a couple of congressmen that were shitty that got voted out, so that was good. So overall, my state did okay, but it's so hard being in the reddest part of the state where you...
What's that like?
It's like there's nothing you can do. State. It's just like, you just can't win, and you don't understand why everybody else is so shitty. I don't know. I don't know, Amy. I don't know. How do we fix this country? I have no idea.
We already fixed everything else. Do we really need to be responsible for fixing the entire country?
That's true. Speaking of which, in one of my local groups, somebody had, we were all talking about the election, and someone was like, yeah, next election, we need to have no cishet white men running. It needs to be all women and people of color. And I'm like, okay.
It's not practical.
Great. But basically what you're saying is, hey, women, go fix everything again. Like,
that's like our entire jobs all the time, always.
And it was a white guy saying this, and it's like,
why are they still here?
Sentiment.
I thought we already sent him to Canada.
Apparently not. Something must have happened with the trains or our trucks we were using for shipping. I don't know, but they're still here.
Okay, that would be fantastic. Okay, sort of. If we put them all in trains and just shipped them, but tell them they're going to like Disney World or something.
No, we'd have to tell them they're going to like a football game.
Super football game day.
Super extra crazy bowl extreme with free
all
Doritos.
All the X's in the title because
with free Doritos and Mountain Dew.
All the 30-something years. I don't know football sports things.
Yeah, neither do I.
All I know, pro tip to our listeners because they're the best people, don't tell anyone else, the best day to go to restaurants that you always have to stand in line at, bars that are usually crowded, movie theaters, anywhere, is Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. That is the best day. I go to restaurants, like farm to market restaurants down in downtown Dallas that you usually have to wait an hour and a half, hour and 20-minute wait every single time, even on a Tuesday night. Super Bowl Sunday, unless you want to sit at the bar because that's packed, they'll walk you right in, sit you down, and the waiter has to talk to you. So,
nice.
Yeah. And you go to a movie, you have the entire theater to yourself, which means you can talk during the movie if your name is Amy with an I, because some people like to talk during movies.
And those people are monsters.
And that those people usually don't because they're appreciative and respectful of other
drawing
people.
A line in the sand.
That's fine. You don't like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So yeah,
yeah.
I want to ask who that is. I want to know what's going on because I have not been paying attention for the last 10 minutes. And I want you to catch me up.
Oh my
and then while you're catching me up, I still don't know what's going on because I have been asking you about that. So I missed the next thing. I'm going to need to know that too.
I feel like I'm married to you already because you sound exactly like my husband right now. And the two of you should get together and go watch movies because it would just be insane to watch both of you going, who is that? What's that guy? What movie was he in?
He says I'm pause crazy. I pause things at home.
Oh, yeah.
I pause them.
Oh, my husband does it and I want to just cut his hand off because you can't get through a whole show.
You don't have to pause it. I'm like, I don't have to, but I'm gonna. And so I pause it and then I have a laundry list of questions and then a side story and then a tangent because I have something else to talk about that we didn't get to talk about before the movie started or whatever we're watching, like Haunting of Hill House. So I go off on these tangents and I start talking and then he's like, are you going to resume the show? I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to resume the show. Is that what you want me to do? I will resume the show.
When we first got a DVR, or I guess it was probably
best day of my entire life when I could
almost
pause
got divorced.
TV. When I could pause TV
I mean, I like pausing TV.
One of the kids put
my
dog in this room. I'm really sorry, but she's whining because my kids are assholes.
Sounds like my kid putting the cat in here. He finally went away, but...
The dog is shut in the office with me. Someone brought her in and shut the door. And I am tethered.
They're assholes.
Please let the dog out. Thank you. Close the door behind you.
Oh, they're not going to close the door. That's not going to happen.
The door. Thank you, sweetheart. Fist bump myself for parenting. Boom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, So anyway, with the pause DVR thing, my husband is notoriously deaf. So he'll pause everything and then turn to me and just go, he'll be like, what'd they say? What'd they say? What'd that guy say? What did they say? And he'll rewind it 6-7 times in a row, the same spot, just to keep listening to it. And this is why we don't watch TV together anymore.
I do that when I watch things by myself.
It's okay when you're by yourself. Yeah.
So ADHD makes it so I can't just watch TV. So when I'm watching TV, I have to be doing a project or playing cards or doing something else.
Yeah, I'm usually doing
I miss entire sections of shows. So I have to rewind all the way back.
Yeah, but when it's just you, that's fine. But when you're sitting there with another person who's trying to get through the show and you rewind it in the same spot 7 times, then the person sitting with you wants to hit you with a meat hammer. So I'm just saying,
Do I have a meat? I'm pretty sure I have a meat hammer.
Oh, I have a meat hammer. I don't use it because I don't cook, but I own one. It's scary looking.
Yeah, I own one.
So speaking of all this TV.
So politics is awesome and TV is great.
Politics is great. I'm feeling very meh. And what I'm like to do is...
optimistic about the future.
Yeah, are you though? I don't know that I am.
It's actually terrifying.
I never underestimate how terrible Americans can be. I've learned that now. I used to think people were fundamentally good, and I'm starting to change my mind.
So I have a grown-up big girl job, and training started. It's 3 weeks of training, and then 3 weeks like being shadowed because our job
by another person who's doing topless vacuuming. Right?
Exactly. Because our jobs could be life or death. It depends on the situation. It depends because sometimes people have heart attacks at how great the boobs are.
Right. Especially with you.
So
yeah.
They are phenomenal and you will never see them.
Nope.
Anyone listening. It's shocking to me. There were quite a few people that started on Monday with me, and it's shocking to me how unprofessional they are.
Yeah.
People
are terrible.
They actually had to come in and have a discussion with the training class about not wearing jeans when it's professional dress, parking in the appropriate spots, and staying off their phones during the day. It's like, duh, all of them, duh. So I'm just looking around. I'm like, I'm going to have all of your jobs. I'm just shocked at the unprofessionalism. So none of them probably voted because they're all
No. I'm always shocked at how some people just get through the fucking day. Like, I meet some people where I think, how do you function in daily life? I'd like to just be a fly on the wall and see how it is that you've gotten this far in life without accidentally harming yourself.
What shocks me is sometimes those people are actually doing okay or really well.
Yeah. Look at Donald Trump.
And you wonder what kind of dumb luck Forrest Gumping happened in their life.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at Trump. Look at most of the GOP. Like, what? How did you stumble into... you look like you can't even color inside the lines, and yet you're making a shitload of money, and I don't get it. I don't get it. The world is fundamentally unfair.
I'm going to see how long I can actually last before it coming out that I have an atheist podcast at work.
It'll be a nice countdown.
Because I can't keep my damn mouth shut even during a movie. So
I can't either, honestly. I mean, I can during a movie because I'm not a fucking monster, but
I can't hide the fact that I'm an atheist, honestly.
I have a really hard... I was actually thinking this week, like, maybe the time is right for somebody in a rural area like mine to just run on the I don't give a fuck platform. Like, if we've learned nothing from Donald Trump, I used to think I could never run for office because I can't keep my damn mouth shut and I'm an atheist and I won't pretend to like things I don't like. But what if I did run and was just like, fuck you, this is me. Yeah, I'm for single payer healthcare. Yeah, I said fuck. Like, yeah, I'm an atheist. God sucks. Like, what if I wonder what the outcome of that would be. I wonder if I would get trounced more, or do you think there'd be more enthusiasm? Was better.
Yeah.
I don't want to know the answer.
I think I'd vote for you.
Well, you would, but
like a bunch, like bunches of times.
But I would need lots of people to vote a lot of times. And I don't know. I wonder, can the Donald Trump effect work both ways is my question.
That is actually a solid point.
Right?
I think it might.
Because, I mean, all the guys running...
Well, the problem is liberals aren't as apathetic about real life.
That's true.
And that's what Republicans are banking on.
I mean,
is the not caring about other people and being just apathetic about reality.
All the guys running in my area that were liberal were solid on their policy. They were good guys. They wanted single payer. They were progressives, but they were all kind of boring, bland white guys that were just kind of like talking points and, talking like politicians. There was nothing that made them stand
out.
Like, what if I went out there and just dyed my fucking hair blue?
We need Jennifer Lopez to run for president or something,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily like her.
I think we need more of a Lady Gaga, just a shock factor, just a wow. Like, look at that.
Okay, honestly, she's fantastic. Right? Like, I love Lady Gaga. She's fantastic. She's a great singer. Mm-hmm. She's a great actress.
Yeah.
She's just fantastic. I like the persona she's created. And then she could walk down the street and people really wouldn't recognize her still because she's created an image.
Yeah. Let's do our thing, and then I can go crawl into my bed and watch TV and turn my brain off, because it's all I really want out of life right now. I need to feed my kids dinner because I've only been home for like a second. They can make a sandwich. Okay.
Ooh.
So
I told them I was making them eggs. We're good.
So Patreon, if this is the
like our Patreon.
First time you've ever heard this show, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you, but if it is...
This is where your name could be said if you give us money.
Exactly. We like to take money, and we take that money on Patreon. So patreon.com/secular soup. And every week we read our wonderful, wonderful patrons who we love. At the $1 a month level, we've got Freethinker 215, John, Liz Satan, Dumb All Over Podcast, Ryan, Jesse, EncyclopediaDumbAmerica.com, Wendy, and the By Any Means Podcast. At the $2...
Great podcast.
And I'm starting to feel bad because I feel like I need to show more enthusiasm. And I really do feel more enthusiasm than I sound like I feel.
You guys, just remember,
it's in there.
Cold, dead heart.
Yes, you are getting through to me. I have an icy cold heart. I appreciate you all more than you know. It's just that I'm tired.
She's using her energy to open her mouth and say the words.
It's true. It's true. So anyone who knows me will attest to that.
She's using her breath, her muscles. This is huge.
I'm half asleep right now. So at the $2 a month level, we've got Sarah and Sarah, the double Sarahs, Veralaine, Andy, Rebecca, Kimberly, and Nathan Dickey. You guys are awesome. At the $4 a month level, we've got Elvin Engineer, who is also fantastic. We did get a surprise this week. Dr. Dylan, Medical Detective, increased his pledge to $5 a month from $4. And I think he started at like $2 and then he bumped it up to $4 and now he's at $5. One of these days, with his sweet doctor money, we're going to get him up to that $20 a month level. So I have a feeling Dr. deep down.
Dylan.
Dr. Dylan, Medical Detective, with all your doctor money.
All
your bow ties.
I mean, everybody I know that's on their working on their PhD or just finished their PhD.
Wait, they're all rich, aren't they?
Paid.
I think they're all rich.
Sure.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, just like all the attorneys I know are super rich.
Yeah, they are, right?
They're not carving Sally Mae in pumpkins because it's the scariest thing they know.
Oh my God. Okay. So $5 a month. Dr. Dylan, thank you so much. Marissa, Alexa McCool, you are amazing. Amy's boring sister, you're fine. Yesh, Jerry, and Alan. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you guys more than you know. We also got, I think it was last week, but we did get an increase from Mr. Larry Yelling Man. He increased to $10 a month because he's fucking amazing. And it was his birthday today or yesterday. I can't remember which one.
Oh, happy birthday,
because my brain
Larry
doesn't
Yelling
work.
Man.
But
today
happy birthday, Larry. Happy 32nd birth. I have no idea how old he is. So
He's real young. Basically,
he's like a baby. He's like 12, I think. Because whenever I see him, he looks like he has a cute little like baby face. So
he is so cute.
He's adorable. And yeah, so happy birthday. We love you, Larry.
We do. We have fond feelings for you.
We
Larry,
do.
Holy man.
At the $10 a month level, we've got Randall and Rich, our fourth. I'm going to go with fourth favorite Rich today. I'm feeling generous.
Oh wow, yeah. Rich, record this episode.
Yeah. Fourth favorite.
Play it back.
That might be the best you ever get, Rich.
You know, like a moment when she says 63rd again or whatever. And just play it back and remember that she's been there. So she can do it again.
And I feel like Randall at $10 a month, I should give him some extra shit because we give Rich all of the shit. But Randall's a $10 a month patron too. And that's pretty fucking amazing. Although he did get his dick bowl. So, stop complaining, Randall. Just kidding. Randall doesn't complain.
Okay, the bowl has dicks on it. It's not for dicks.
Exactly. Well, I mean...
Although I seen a meme that
you
had
could use it either way.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want a bowl with a dick on it, I'm
not going to judge you.
Pledge it $10 a month and you might get one.
Send pictures to Amy if you put your...
Amy with an I. So here's the part that's really going to hurt, Amy. Our $20 a month patrons... For episodes and episodes now, we've been saying that our favorite person is Ashley because it's true. She is our favorite person.
Still our favorite person.
Still our favorite person because she gives us $20 a month and she's amazing and she has great fashion sense and we love her. But
those fuckers here.
We now have a new top patron and I'm sorry, I'm not going to sink to saying they're my favorite person, but they do give us the most money by 1 cent.
By 1 cent because they wanted to be the top.
So yes, our new top patron is those fuckers at the Wayward Willis podcast. I swear to God, you get into a podcast feud with someone and then they find a really creative way to win that feud. But I'm not conceding defeat yet.
I will. Go for it. You guys win.
I'm not ready yet. There's too much fun feuding to do.
She'll stand her ground. I'll come around. I'll sober up.
I'll stand my ground.
And I'll be mad again.
Until they're giving us $100 a month, they're not winning this podcast feud.
Glove slap, Wayward Willis.
Bring it on. Bring on $100 a month. I can take it. Anyway.
Yeah, that would be the biggest insult ever.
That really would. I would be so
shut those vagina
offended
right
by that. I would be so offended by that amount of money. So yes, they are now giving us $20.01 a month.
1 cent.
Just so they could be
you
petty.
You sent me a screenshot of this week, and that made me laugh so hard.
Just so they could be 1 penny better than Ashley. Ashley, I wouldn't take this laying down if I were you.
We know, Ashley. We know that yours is from the heart.
Yes, you're the better person by far. Wayward Willis is just doing this for petty revenge of some kind. But either way, we will take their money and we'll spend it all on lipstick. Don't think we won't.
Whatever. Yeah. Lipstick and nail polish. I need to do my nails actually. And I need to do my toenails too. So
I did mine on Tuesday and painted them blue because I was sure that meant all of my people were going to win, but it was a big fail. So
didn't work.
Maybe I can buy magic nail polish with all of this new Wayward Willis money. So
yeah.
So there you go, Wayward Willis, John and Ron, whose actual name on Patreon now is I Vote. I like voting. We all voted. I still vote. So
good.
Fair.
I like that.
I like that. Anyway, there you go. Right. Are you happy, John? You're a favorite patron now, except for Ashley, who's still actually our favorite, but you're kind of one of our favorites. That's the best I'm willing to do.
Like 0.01 more.
There you go. So Amy, take us out so I can go to bed.
Okay. And that's all we've got for now. Thanks to our fabulous listeners who put up with us droning on week after week. If you enjoy our delightful bitchcraft, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and send us all your monies on Patreon. You can find us on those platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. This week, your donations will go to gloves for me. I'm not sharing.
Yeah.
I'm cold. If you want to tell the world how awful this episode was, join our Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell us to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help us spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, tell your friends. As always, we leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular Soup Creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter-throwing, tummy-satisfying pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity-seeking happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.
Chappie, you need to get the fuck out of my lap. Go away. There you go. Okay, the cat's gone.